What's happening, my brothers? This is Coach G coming at you, reaching out to all my people in Feed the Right Wolf Land, Mindful Habit Land. Listen, guys, I want to talk to you today. We're going to keep our series rocking and rolling with broken pieces. And our topic that we're going to look at today, when we're discussing broken pieces, is going to be a big part for a lot of us. Okay, so right now we're going to dig into relationships, right? Relationships. I'm pretty sure that if we don't have them now, we've had them before. If we got it now, we're wondering how to make it better right now. We might question the value, the validity of relationships. Is this a real thing that's happening right now? And still trying to manage relationships in the midst of us just trying to figure out who we are. Right? Like, how do we really integrate a whole nother person into us? And then on top of that, how do we handle the pieces of us in terms of being broken relationships? So real quick, guys, like a good summary just to kind of catch you guys up, because I want to let you guys know that on some level, I am going to connect with each one of you all on each one of the topics that we're going to discuss. So when we look at relationships, I've had the pleasure of having some wonderful relationships in my life. I've had the pleasure of having some toxic relationships in my life, right? So I remember from a very young age, having a strained relationship with my dad just because of some of the pieces he was dealing with. Like, he was my hero, but at the time just wasn't always present, right? So when you got somebody that's your hero, but they're not present all the time, and even more so, like, not as present, say, even Superman, right? At least Superman showed up during the emergency, right? My dad couldn't show up because he was dealing with his own emergencies, handling his own addictions at the time. So when I look at relationships, that was a big part for me in terms of how I carried our relationships moving forward. Like, I just looked at the value of it meant that it was less interaction I was going to have. So I increased value of people that I didn't have a lot of benefit from, and that were probably getting more benefit from me than I was getting from them. The people that I got the greatest benefit from, I either made myself unavailable at times, or I felt that, they were going to be unavailable at some point in time. So I felt the need to kind of maybe discontinue, even damage. We all know about the sabotage kid, right? I'm kind of hitting home with him right now, right? But that's what happened with me dealing with relationships. So the first thing I want you guys to understand when we're diving into relationships is that even though that one situation impacted how I handle relationships, well, the truth of the matter is that there are several different types of relationships as well as different levels of relationships. So the relationship I'm talking about now is a familial one, but that familial relationship impacted me professionally. It impacted me personally. And the same thing works in the other avenues, right? How often have you guys had a situation happen at work and you come home and take it out on the people that's closest to you and they had nothing to do with what took place at work? So the one part I want you guys to understand is to learn how to be able to separate your relationships by the environment. Every environment is set in a certain way for a certain type of relationship to manifest in that environment. It's not conducive for every relationship. So while you can be at work, I just need you all to understand, I'm happy if you find that, special person at work to bond with, be friends with. That's not what the environment is there for. So you can't go to one environment seeking the return that you got from another environment when it comes to your relationships, okay? Now, keeping it rocking and rolling, guys, I want you all to understand about relationships that we tend to think that when we engage in a relationship with someone, that it will in some fashion change the person or the entity that we came in a relationship with. It could be a car. It could be finances. It could be, a home. It could be mom. It could be fiance. It could be whoever it could be, right? But what we realize is that, we don't control people. Like, the relationships that we have don't change people. People change people. So whoever the person was really before the relationship is probably a great indicator of who they're going to be once you engage in a relationship with them. And again, whether that's going to be familial, professional, or personal, because if you guys are hearing me when it comes to character, that's something that's going to last for a continual piece in time, okay? Now, I want you guys to get this down. There are 3 types of relationships I want you to be on guard for, okay? Here's the first one. It's mutualism. It's the one that everybody likes because everybody benefits from it, right? I mean, saying we got almost a bit of a mutual peace that's happening here in some respects, right? I like to think so. At least I give something, you guys give something back, right? So it could be you guys just taking a chance to watch this video. It could be about you guys taking a chance to, you know, who knows, maybe to refer somebody to watch this video. It could be about you guys maybe now taking it a step further. You're dropping a comment on the video. Nonetheless, I'm still providing you something. I'm getting something back in return from you guys. And as long as it's perceived to be of an equal basis, then you know you're dealing with the mutualism type of relationship that you have here. Now, the next one is one that we unfortunately more often probably find ourselves in, but make excuses around it. And that's when one party receives a benefit, but the other party gets nothing. How many times we put ourselves in that deficit? Right? And think about it, maybe we're the ones that's doing the taking of a benefit without giving something back.